Mandela Effect, Human Anatomy and Biology. Wait, was that always there? Welcome back. I'm Adeline Atlas. Today's topic is one of the most unexpected and widely reported Mandela effects, changes to human anatomy. Not abstract memories or pop culture debates. Observable shifts in the layout of the human body, organ positions, bone structures, and basic biological references that, according to current data, no longer match what many of us were taught. This video is not about speculation. It's a record of inconsistencies. We're looking at specific claims made by people across disciplines, nurses, personal trainers, biology teachers, and average adults, who all report the same thing. That's not where that body part used to be. Let's begin with the most widely recognized change. 1. The heart's location. Traditionally, the heart was taught to be on the left side of the chest. That's where we were told to place our hands during the Pledge of Allegiance. That's where stethoscopes were placed. That's what was printed in educational materials and reflected in CPR instructions. Today, the heart is described as sitting centrally in the chest cavity, slightly tilted to the left, and protected directly behind the sternum. Is this a case of mass misconception, or was the anatomical model quietly updated? If you compare medical diagrams from before 2000 with today's illustrations, you'll see a shift, not necessarily in function, but in position and description. Medical professionals trained in the late 20th century frequently report remembering the heart as further left, unlike the centralized, shielded location it's now presented with. No mainstream source has acknowledged a change. But for a significant portion of the population, the discrepancy is very real and worth noting. 2. The kidneys. The kidneys are another key example. They were once taught to sit lower in the back, just above the waistline, often used as a target reference in martial arts and physical education. If someone was hit in the kidneys, that meant the lower flank, not the mid-back. Now, anatomical diagrams place the kidneys much higher, tucked under the lower ribs and even partially protected by the rib cage. The question is, when did this change? Again, there's no medical headline or revision event. Yet, many adults trained in health-related fields decades ago are surprised to see the current positioning. Were the old models wrong, or has our anatomical overstanding been adjusted without discussion? 3. The liver. Then there's the liver. In previous diagrams, the liver was shown as a moderately sized organ on the right side of the upper abdomen, just under the ribs. That's still technically true, but modern illustrations now show it as larger, more dominant, and stretching across to the left side. It occupies a greater portion of the torso than most people remember. This matters because liver positioning directly affects how we overstand trauma injuries, abdominal pain, and surgical approaches. What's strange is how quickly this shift seems to have become accepted. Compare anatomy flashcards from the 1990s to those being sold today. You'll see different contours, different borders, and a wider organ span. 4. The stomach. Many remember the stomach being located more centrally, or even slightly to the right. In older health books, it was shown as a J-shaped organ hanging below the liver, mid-abdomen. Now, in current diagrams, the stomach is shown smaller and more tucked under the left side, directly below the diaphragm, and far less centered than most remember. This changes how we overstand digestion, how pain is interpreted, and how surgical pathways are taught. So again, is this an update to human knowledge, or a retroactive rewrite of reference material? 5. Skull and bone structure changes. Some of the most jarring changes are in skeletal structure. The skull, for example, now features more foramina, small holes and openings for nerves and vessels, than many older models depicted. People report noticing larger nasal cavities, additional circular holes near the jawline and temple, changes to the base of the skull where the spinal cord connects. These changes might be attributed to improved imaging technology. But if that's the case, why do so many veteran healthcare workers say they don't match the physical models they trained with? Similarly, the ribcage now appears tighter and more enclosed in current diagrams, offering more protection to internal organs than older references suggested. So, what's causing this? To remain clear, there is no scientific consensus explaining these discrepancies. No research paper has declared that human anatomy has physically changed across the population. And yet, these differences are being reported widely and consistently. Some possibilities: digital standardization. With modern reliance on software and centralized databases, it's possible that older anatomical variations were replaced with newer, cleaner models, creating uniformity, but also confusion for those trained with previous references. Educational realignment. Medical education has evolved, and with it, the precision of anatomical language. It's possible that older diagrams were oversimplified, and what we're seeing now is a more detailed representation. But that still doesn't explain why the public remembers something else so clearly. Cognitive anchoring. Some psychologists argue that once a body part is taught a certain way, especially at a young age, that version becomes locked in as the default mental model. When that model is challenged, even by improved data, it creates resistance. Whatever the explanation, one thing is certain: this phenomenon deserves discussion. If large groups of people across professions are reporting the same anatomical discrepancies, it's not productive to dismiss them. Instead, we should be studying where these memories originate, comparing historical diagrams, and asking why the record has changed, while the population's memories have not. This isn't about whether you're right or wrong. It's about asking a better question. Why do so many of us remember the human body differently than it appears today? Was the heart always central? Were the kidneys always under the ribs? Was the stomach always that small? Was the liver always that wide? You don't need to jump to conclusions, but you do need to look at the evidence. Because something about the reference model of the human body has changed, whether in the material, the map, or the memory. And if it's changed once, we owe it to ourselves to track what might change next. Hi, I'm Adeline Atlas, 11x published author, and what you just watched was only a taste of what's inside the Truth series, where we go all the way down the rabbit hole. If you're the kind of person who's always asking bigger questions, who knows there's more to this world than what we've been told, then this is your invitation to the series that was built for you. Inside the Truth series, you'll get full access to 6 mind-blowing sub-series designed to wake up your highest intelligence and decode the matrix we live in. 1. Locate the truth. Learn how to actually research, not just what to search, but how to verify, cross-reference, read declassified files, and protect your own mind from weaponized misinformation. This is truth-seeking decoded. 2. The Mandela effect. Are we shifting timelines? Why do so many people remember a different past? We break down the most bizarre, undeniable examples of reality glitches and what they tell us about consciousness and control. 3. Law is magic. Law is not what you think it is. From word spells to maritime law and hidden contracts, we uncover how legal systems use language like a wand and how to stop being tricked by fine print that binds you without consent. 4. Entertainment or ritual. The Hollywood and music industries are not just for entertainment. From Super Bowl rituals to Grammy stage symbolism, we decode what's really being shown, who it serves, and why mass consciousness is the target. 5. Decoding dystopia. Ever wondered why dystopian fiction feels prophetic? In this subseries, we decode popular films and books, Hunger Games, 1984, Black Mirror, to reveal the hidden blueprints and predictive programming behind the plot. 6. MK Ultra plus mind control programs. This one gets deep. From real MK Ultra documents to modern symbolism in media, we expose how mind control operates in plain sight and how to free yourself from manipulation you didn't even know was happening. And that's just the beginning. If this resonated with you, click the links below and join us inside the Full Truth series, because the more you know, the harder you are to control. This is your awakening. We don't just ask questions, we find answers. Let's go all the way down the rabbit hole together.